There are nights when a scoreboard tells half the story and a substitution list tells the other half. Tuesday's 2-1 Champions League win for Real Madrid over Marseille registered in the books as a positive start, but the headlines that followed weren't about the goals so much as about who didn't Ayuar. Begin the game. Vinícius Jr., the Brazilian who has been both a talisman and a lightning rod, was left on the bench and only summoned in the second half, a tactical decision that has set off a wave of questions inside and outside the Santiago Bernabéu. From the first whistle, Xabi Alonso's lineup spoke of a different plan. Young Franco Mastantuono and Rodrigo flanking the attack, Arda Güler operating in the pocket, and the message was unmistakable. Alonso is shaping a team that values interior movement and positional interchange, even if it means relegating a once untouchable winger to a waiting role. The reaction has been raw because this isn't an isolated moment but a pattern. Vinícius has seen his influence erode since last season, and now influential voices on Spanish radio and in the press are spelling out the mechanics of that decline. Manu Carreño, speaking plainly on El Larguero, distilled the problem into 3 blunt reasons. First, Vinícius is coming off a very poor year compared with the 2 seasons that made him the most unbalancing player in the world. Second, the coach's blueprint prefers attackers who can tuck inside and combine rather than hug the touchline as pure outriders. And third, a renewal that once seemed all but agreed has stalled, and that uncertainty hangs over selection and confidence alike. Tactically, the shift is easy to trace on a coach's sheet. Players such as Güler, the younger Mastantuono, and even Rodrigo present profiles that allow Alonso to compress space, to overload the half spaces and provide Mbappé with interior support. Roles where darting diagonal runs and quick central combinations matter more than fixed wing sprint. In that logic, the traditional Vinícius profile, a high-tempo, wide isolator who destabilizes with dribbles and touchline incursions, becomes less of a priority on paper and more of a dilemma for a manager who wants balance and positional symmetry. And then there's the contract question, the practical shadow behind many tactical debates. Carreño revealed that what seemed like a signed extension, 3 more years with a substantial wage bump, was in truth delayed. An agreement was reportedly close but not completed before the Club World Cup, and has still not been signed, meaning Vinícius edges toward the season with uncertainty over his long-term status. That delay is not just a line item, it changes leverage, it alters how decisions are read by players and opponents, and as Carreño warned, if the renewal isn't resolved this year, Vinícius could enter a rundown contract window that allows other suitors to plan. So what does this mean for Madrid's season? For now, it's a recalibration. Xabi Alonso is proving willing to bench a world-class name in pursuit of a system he believes will win games and titles. For Vinícius, the road ahead is a crossroads between adaptation and negotiation. Adapt tactically, accept a reworked role, and fight to become indispensable within Alonso's structure, or force clarity off the pitch and risk the mistrust that unresolved contract talk can breed. Either way, the short term will be watched as a test of character and club strategy. Whether Madrid double down on a new collective identity or find ways to reintegrate a player who once defined their unpredictability. Fans will pass every lineup and every substitution as if it were proof of a verdict, but football's rhythms are patient, form can flip, tactics can be adjusted, and contracts can be signed. Still, the symbolism is powerful. When a manager benches a player of Vinícius's stature, it signals more than a tactical tweak, it announces a direction. The coming weeks will tell whether this is a temporary recalibration or the beginning of a deeper rupture that reshapes Real Madrid's summer headlines for seasons to come.